PumpFun is famous for two things: its unique platform to make meme coins and the absolute chaos that unfolds on a daily basis. There have been so many iconic moments over the last few months that I decided to rank the absolute best in order to find the most defining moment in PumpFun history. Or the worst. To do this, I created a tier list featuring some familiar faces: Crackhead Trev, Live with Mum, and Barry B. Benson. What's his part in all this? You'll find out soon enough. Let's kick things off with a name familiar to all of us by now: Gen Z Quant, one of the most famous PumpFun rugs in history without a doubt. A 13-year-old kid makes a PumpFun coin, rugs it for 20k, thanks his audience, and flips the bird while rugging them. It's generational content. He then decided to make a coin called Sorry and rugged that one as well. The kid was on a prime Russell Westbrook run, one that thousands of devs could only ever dream of. But what makes it deserving of a place on this list is the lore that followed. Not only did the angered community of his run up the coin to millions out of spite, but they made coins about his whole family and his dog after doxing him in a fit of rage. The Gen Z Quant has a love of the game that not many do. He will rug at any cost, even that of his publicly available information, by streaming his face. He fears no consequence, takes no prisoners, only bandos. For that, he gets a spot in the A tier. Next up, we've got B-Movie Dev. Now, this is my personal favourite and one that you guys probably won't know about, but someday I hope this dev somehow catches wind of this video and cries happy tears. Once upon a time, during my early PumpFun adventures, I found a coin called B-Movie. I joined the Telegram and it was literally just the dev sat in a voice chat, watching the entire movie and sharing his screen. Whenever anyone joined and asked questions such as when bump bots, he would reply, "Not now, watching the B-movie." The coin was at 7k for ages. I ended up being the only other holder, sat in silence on a VC watching one of the greatest movies of all time. But then, the dev randomly up a notepad on the screen during the movie and typed, "Going to rug now, I want to watch the B-movie." He rugged the coin, closed the Telegram, and went off to finish it in peace, making about $80 in the process. Perhaps the most harmless dev on this list, someone with an autistic hyperfixation on Barry B. Benson who couldn't even be bothered to do anything with the coin. He just wanted to watch the movie. If Roaring Kitty had a special interest in spoons instead of spreadsheets, I feel like this is what would have been the outcome. Long live the B-Movie dev, and for his unrivaled love of the movie, he earns a spot in the C tier. Who could forget Live with Mum, one of the pioneers of the early PumpFun stream wave. A kid sat on stream with his mum with the premise of, well, acting out some very questionable acts for each target the market cap hit. It was an awkward experience for most involved, and one that I absolutely had no part in buying, but it will go down in history as one of the most outlandish ideas to date. The kid rugged the coin before he could do anything too heinous, and the community decided to run it up as high as they can, just like they did with Gen Z Quant, and made some big gains along the way. This one goes on the D tier though. The idea was brilliant, but it wasn't quite audacious or arrogant enough to deserve a higher grade. A historic rug, but not one that carried a ton of lore or be revered in the same level as our next rugger. Now this might be the single greatest PumpFun rug of all time. A man with his hands behind his back and a sheet of paper under his chin to prove that he can't rug because he's not moving his arms. Proceeds to run up to his computer, remove his hands from behind his back, rug everyone, dashes back with his hands behind him again, and pretends like nothing has happened. You know, like people wouldn't see the giant Hiroshima candle on the chart or anything like that. His webcam must have glitched. I think for the sheer audacity and hilarity alone, this has to go in the S tier. PumpFun truly peaked at this exact moment, and the No Hands dev will go down as one of the funniest rugs I've ever seen. If you lost money on this, like, you weren't even mad, you were just happy to pay your price of admission to a cinematic experience that rivals the Avengers. The Grimace rug takes its place on this for the genuine achievement, if you can call it that, of what they are able to pull off. A team of hackers somehow got into the McDonald's Instagram, which, in fairness, if it's anything like their ice cream machines, it might not have been that hard at all. And then they posted a PumpFun link promoting a shitcoin about beloved mascot Grimace, although I'd never heard of him, so didn't buy it. Naturally, nobody knew any better, and the coin ran up around a whopping $20 million before the hackers took off with over 700,000 in profits after slurping up 75% of the supply before even promoting the coin. It's a euphoric amount of money, don't get me wrong, but for what? a risk that could actually end you up in prison for God knows how many crimes, and the team many believe this to be has actually done this several times before, so it's just overdoing it a little and downplays the actual achievement. It goes in the bottom tier. Insane amount of money, but it's just flat out criminal and not even remotely fun. At least the no hands dev gave us a good hearty laugh before ruining our day. Crackhead Trev, I don't even know where to start with this man, who's launched more rugs than I've had cups of tea. And I'm British. But the amount of coins he's made has somewhat diminished his once unchallenged spot at the top of this list, but the man's ridiculous and outlandish escapades were a likely catalyst in the recent chaos of PumpFun. Trev would do anything to pump a coin that would rug hours later, from infinite backflips, illegal substances, hiring strippers, and, well, to be fair, the less said about any of these coins, the better, because I want this channel to do well. With that said, a monthly dose of Trev doing galaxy gas, passing out, sprinting around his room and acting absolutely unhinged is at least better than watching Gilmore Girls. He goes into the mid-tier for simply doing too many of them. The first stream was funny, the second one was alright, and now it's just a bit boring. Although he is continuing to lose more and more sanity, I'm sure of it. Whiff, or dog with hat, is one of the most infamous memes on Solana, but did you know it's a CTO? Shocking. That means that some poor dev somewhere who made the meme watched on as a community ran it to billions. I think that counts for something, and the heartbroken dev, who is now a Taylor Swift fan, I'm sure of it, gets a spot down here where he belongs, dwelling in the doldrums. Although in fairness, if he hadn't dumped everything early on, would it be where it is today? I'll bump him up a tier just because he did kind of make it. On the topic of sheer PumpFun chaos, here's a look at what's going on over on crypto TikTok right now. Spoiler alert, it isn't good. And until next time, I'll see you in the trenches.